Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about a topic that I think is really important. We often talk about, eating healthy, grounding ourselves, doing meditation, getting a lot of nice warming components into our life, like gingers, and we want our cinnamons and cloves and things that are really going to heal the body. We also talk about healing the gut, and a lot of people, I'm not a medical professional in this regard, so you all do your own research. I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be one here on YouTube, but what I do think is important is that we all need to be focusing on healing of ourselves. We live in a very toxic society here, at least in America. We've got a lot of plastics in our food now and in the soil, and there's just we've got just a lot of nastiness in the air. There's a lot of geoengineering of our environment, and we're not the kindest. We have a lot of industry that is producing gunk and putting it in the air, and so a lot of people get sick. I'm gonna say this for sure. I was just talking to one of my family members, and I told them that this year has really been a rough year overall. I think that we just have been getting very sick lately, not lately, within the last year. It just seems to keep just compounding. It's like a rotation in my family. It's like one person gets sick, the next person gets sick, my nephews get sick, my parents get sick, aunts, uncles, etc. And then the cycle starts all over again. You start to feel better for a week or two, and then bam, it hits you again, and you're starting to feel under the weather. I've been doing a lot of oils, like thieves, and I do my cloves, and we try to do a lot of natural practices. So one of the things that this year we started implementing, I've done some research on this matter. If you know anything about a man named Gary Brecka, he does talk about this, and there's a lot of people out there that have been talking about this. I don't really think that this is a new idea. I think that this is just more coming to light as far as its healing properties. I think that in Japan that they are really fine-tuning hydrogen water. They're actually using it, and you can do your own research on this. They're actually using it in the hospital settings as a healing property to your recovery. And I think that it's really important that here in America that we potentially take that into consideration. To me, I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all, although I do know that there are people out there that will absolutely preach that this is the end-all be-all, that hydrogen water, just drink hydrogen water, your life's gonna be 100, you're gonna feel so much better, life's gonna be grand and great. You could even have these euphoric experiences when you drink hydrogen water. What I can tell you is we here in this household have started doing hydrogen water. Now you want purified water to begin with. You want really good water. This is the brand that we are just currently using and trying. My fiance has some medical issues, and so I do as well. I don't really think any American household is really without something, even if it's just seasonal allergies, eczema, something like that. This product actually works fairly well, or there are plenty of PubMed studies on this, and so that's what I'm saying. You do your own research, but getting hydrogen water into your system is one of the key and imperative components to bringing about a better self and healing of self. And on this channel we are all about eating natural as best we can, growing our food, living more with the land, and So I think it's important that we kind of maybe take a look at this. So today I kind of want to talk about that with you guys. Here's some stuff. There's just like a little summary about hydrogen water. First of all, it enhances overall health, which we were just talking about. It actually helps to reduce oxidative stress and inflammation. So like inflammation could be anything from like IBS, Crohn's, arthritis in the body, even headaches, stuff like that. So you want to think about, even NASH or fatty liver disease or kidney diseases. A lot of people are taking high blood pressure medicines, stuff like that. So that is inflammation in the body. And so it could potentially bring, I'm not even gonna say it could potentially, you all need to do your own research on the studies that this absolutely does benefit you by doing this protocol properly. I will say that much. So a lot of people that are working out, they do hydrogen water because it helps to it boosts performance and recovery of muscle tissue. It also improves metabolism or helps to regulate your metabolism, as well as improve gut health. So for me, that's my biggest thing is gut health. Right now, I'm actually drinking an Olipop, all about like healing of the gut. I personally have dealt with a lot of like stomach issues. I still have a tendency, I think it's something I've dealt with for most of my life. I think I will continue to deal with this, but I am trying to find ways to heal myself, so I am not without my own issues. I definitely work in a stressful environment. There's a lot of pressure in what my line of work is at times, and so and if you work more than one job, you definitely are getting stress. And so I think it's inevitable. Plus, we're getting all these free radicals and crazy things that are in the air, EMFs, like just, you name it. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we're living in a toxic society. So anything that we can do to help ourselves, we need to try to implement that into our life. It's not a one size fits all, but I do think that every step that we take to healing is key and imperative. All right, so the next thing that hydrogen water does, it helps to improve liver function and slow aging. Now, a lot of people are out there, talking about the collagen and, stem cell and all this stuff. And I absolutely, those are options. But if you knew that you could do something at home and help yourself, I'm all about bringing that into our life. So let me tell you a little bit about this product. This is not a sales pitch. This is just something I bought. I have actually been looking at other machines. And in all honesty, a little side note here, one of my family members had called me the other day, and basically my uncle had a gap in his memory of remembering who I was. And so that was a trigger for me to also kind of want to bring this subject up and talk to you guys, because this product has the potential to kind of regenerate those brain cells, and so and just bring life back into the body and bring in good tissue, help that tissue like be strong and fight cancer and all these dementia and all these things. Like I said, do your own research, PubMed, there's plenty of studies out there. This is a really simple product to use. So I am not pushing for this specific product per se, because there are many out there on the market. You do your own research. This is just the one that we purchased. It works fairly simply. Like basically, you just fill it with water, which is what I did. You press the button, it'll make that little beep noise, and then it's starting to, I don't know if the camera will actually pick it up, but you can actually hopefully see, like, do you see the bubbles coming in? It's so warm out here outside today. For a fall day, it's very hot here in Florida. So you can hopefully kind of see the bubbles starting, and that's what this is doing. You can see there's a little light in there. The light is actually changing color. This would probably be easier to see in the evening, but I wanted to get this video shot for you guys so that this might be something on your radar for the holidays. for a Christmas gift for an aging parent, or even yourself if you're wanting to bring in some healthy components into your life. Like I said, grounding, meditation, hydrogen water is one of them. Eating healthy. These are all things that you're going to do to like help improve yourself. And with the craziness in the world today, every little bit helps as far as I'm concerned. And so this process takes approximately about 3 minutes or so to do. Now, one of the things is you can see that there are regulation lines here as far as like how much you can fill this bottle up. And the reason is because this particular unit has a like breathing tube apparatus that you can utilize with it. Like I said, this is just one I purchased. I am not sponsored by these people. You do your research. Here is the tube that it came with. It's for nasal oxygen. You're gonna breathe this in. And here's like a little cleaning unit and stuff for it. And if the charging is fairly simple, it's just basically using a USB cord. Here it is. You plug it into the back. It has this little lip back here and it just pops out. There you go. See, so you can charge it. So now for this particular unit, so far we have noticed that we can get approximately about maybe 8 to 10 uses out of it before we need to actually charge it back up. Now, my fiance has been using this a lot. I really pushed for him to use this product because he has some heart concerns and he's got some kidney concerns, and so I really want him to be doing as much as he can to keep his health up. He is definitely in a stressful position, and so I just want him to be as well as he can be. You know, and so this is, like I said, this is something that you can breathe in. Now, I have heard people breathing this in and like actually healing their lungs, smokers and stuff, like, you know, cleansing their lungs and whatnot. And so I've heard people breathing it in for up to 90 minutes. I think that seems like a long time, but if you're sitting in front of a computer, you know, I wouldn't start off with 90 minutes. Obviously, you do your research on what you feel is best for you, but I'm just saying I have heard of this, you know, people doing this for an extended period of time. Did you hear it? It just beeps. It tells me that it's actually done and ready. I can actually see a lot of like bubbles in the water, and you want to drink this right away. Not guzzle it, but you definitely want to get it down. You don't want the molecules in here to kind of dissipate before you have the chance to actually enjoy this water. It's beautiful. I pour this into another cup and I drink it down. Like I said, right now I actually have an Olipop, so I'm drinking that, but I have also been giving this to my pets, and you know, they get other vitamins and stuff. I take very good care of my babies, and I have noticed that they are improving as well. Their overall health and energy has improved, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. So again, friends, food for thought with the holidays coming up. You might want to share this with a loved one. You might want to start doing your research. I know, you know, obviously this is a critical time for some job losses, so that may be something you want to take into consideration. I literally just had my neighbor come up to me yesterday and tell me that Verizon is going to be laying off, or is gearing towards laying off 15,000 workers. Friends, we've talked about this, so do not invest in stuff that you cannot pay off. You definitely, if it's something that you're interested in, make sure that anything that you are doing from here forward, that you can absolutely pay for it right away, that you do not want to put this on credit. You don't want to have that negative energy of having to file for bankruptcy or anything like that. You want to be able to support yourself and support your family in the future. That is one of the reasons why we grow here, because if one of us lost a job, we would hopefully be able to go out into our garden and be able to pull some stuff together to be able to eat. We still have the bananas. They are hanging. I've definitely got a lot of tomatoes that have popped up on their own in the garden. They've actually taken over the bed with the kale. You know, so we are still doing that. It's very warm here. I was hoping that we were going to have some cool holidays. Unfortunately, we only had a couple of days so far of some cool weather, and it was nice. We were blessed to have it, but we would love to have some more. All right, friends, so here's my Christmas cactus. Isn't it pretty? It's pink. Y'all know that I can't go an episode without really talking a little bit about the garden. It is one of my joys and loves in life. So, all right, friends, as always, do your own research, but think about maybe investing in that. That is investing in self. And we all need some self-care and self-love. All right, friends, until next time, love one another, be kind, and I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching and spending time with me today.